Hi, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I'm starting a series on 5-minute tips and tricks for 3D printing. And I'm going to start off by talking about the resources on GitHub and channels I use when I'm working with Bigtreetech boards. I have a total of 4 printers, and 2 of them are using Bigtreetech boards. The other 2, eventually, when I get the money, I'll probably buy some new boards and upgrade those as well. One of the key resources I use is Bigtreetech's GitHub page, and I'll put links for these in the video description. So Bigtreetech has a GitHub repository and repos for all their individual boards. If I go to, say, an SKR2, which I have, they have firmware folder where I don't actually use their firmware, but I use it as a reference as I'm trying to put together my own firmware. And what's really helpful is if you go into the hardware folder, and again, they have these for most of the boards. They have a user manual. They also have pinouts. And again, these are the types of resources you need as you're trying to wire your board and also as you're trying to put together Marlin. Now, when it comes to putting together Marlin, a great GitHub repository I use is the repo from Cursive Fabrications. He has various flavors of Marlin in here. And if I scroll through, he has setups, particularly for the Ender 5 Plus, for the SKR 1.4 Turbo. He has some of the minis in here, various flavors of the minis. And again, it's really helpful as you're trying to put together your own firmware to have a reference. Lastly, as another source for Marlin you can use for Bigtreetech boards, you can use the firmware, the unified firmware from TH3D. I don't use this myself because I prefer to compile my own version of Marlin, so I know every single setting. And then lastly, you're welcome to use my repository for Marlin, and I use a SKR2 and an Ender 5 Plus, and so I have a working copy of firmware in here. I also have a Sidewinder X1 with an SKR 1.4 Turbo. Now when it comes to channels I find that are a must follow if you're using Bigtreetech boards is Ed's 3D Tech. Ed does an amazing job and has pretty much a video on any topic for any Bigtreetech board you can think of. And whenever I'm doing wiring or trying to set up Marlin, his channel's a must. As I mentioned previously, I use Cursive Fabrications GitHub repository. His videos are a great resource if you're using Bigtreetech boards, both for wiring and then also setting up Marlin. If you have an Ender 5 Plus, it's almost you need to follow this channel because again, there's just some really great content. And lastly, when I'm setting up electronics and Bigtreetech boards, I find it's real helpful to use Chris's Basement. Chris Riley's channel is awesome. Again, he does everything step by step. He has great camera angles, and it's real thorough when he's putting together. He's doing videos on using these various boards, and it's super helpful. But those are the resources I use when I'm using Bigtreetech boards and I'm putting things together. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Please give me a like if you want, subscribe. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you for your time.